The doctor will see you now.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Brawl Stars. Today I'm going to be playing Yawgmoth, Thran Physician. Yawgmoth, who is King of Eyeliner and King of Sacrifice. He's a very powerful commander because all he needs to do is sacrifice a creature in order to put a -1/-1 counter on anything that's on the battlefield and draw a card. Really just a great way to get card advantage, kill advantage, and also has this sweet proliferate ability. Now, in order to play around the proliferate, I could have put in a lot more planeswalkers, but I didn't. I just put in a few of my favorites, as well as ones that spit out tokens, because we need things to sacrifice. This deck is a pretty big kind of sacrifice theme. It's an aristocrats deck. You can see down here I have a good number of cards that do something on death or can come back from the graveyard. I've got cards that benefit me when something dies, something like the Blood Artist that I've created off the Sanguine Brushstroke, and Blood Artist itself. We've got things that we can replay from the graveyard. We've got things that can make more tokens for me, like Dreadhorde Invasion, Black Market Connection. Other ways to sacrifice, like Woe Strider, Plague Crafter, and Priest of Forgotten Gods. And, of course, some mono black good stuff, because we're playing mono black. That's right, 2 mono black decks back to back. Truly, we are going to be one with Phyrexia. We're going to take this mono black monstrosity into the queue and see what the doctor has to offer. Teferi, who slows the sunset. He's also very good at untapping lands and artifacts, as well as tapping my creatures. Teferi, who slows the sunset, has recently been upgraded from a strong commander to an extremely strong commander, and I believe that some, combo players are to blame, because they've really found the best ways to get value out of this Teferi, with these high-cost artifacts and lands like Lotus Field that tap for more than 1 mana. Hello, Agent of Rafine. I wonder if they're going to be doing some crime. Well, guess I'll just have to be ready for it. I'm going to play Xander's Wake. This is going to be a very strange-seeming card to get down onto the battlefield, but it is an alchemy card that just keeps generating value. A creature you control dies, you essentially get another creature. Not exactly a fun, fair, balanced slew of value, but hey, I'll take it. I'm also going to take out this Tenacious Underdog and put it on the battlefield. Our opponent let it resolve, so I'm going to try to follow up with Bloodchief's Thirst to take out Agent of Rafine. Agent of Rafine, by the way, is an incredibly good card advantage generator, because every time you activate it, and only costs 2 mana, you actually steal the top card of your opponent's deck. You're going to notice this was exiled face down, and in their hand they now have a copy of whatever that card is. This is the closest you can get to stealing a card. It's kind of amazing, because even if I make them discard it, it's in their graveyard. It's theirs now. I can never get it back. How about Ayara? Let's get this down. Also, Teferi, being a Teferi card and a Teferi deck, has access to counterspells and board wipes. That's just how it goes when you're playing Azorius. They have 4 mana here. They could play Teferi if they wanted to, but instead they're going to tutor. Is it going to be Paradox Engine, perhaps? Paradox Engine is tricky for a deck like mine, because I don't have a way to destroy it. But if they put it in their hand, I've actually got a chance to make them discard it using the City Stalker Connoisseur. No, it looks like they went for Elspeth Conqueror's Death. This is a good piece of removal. I'm going to see if I can make them discard it. Just like right here. It might be the most expensive card in their hand. It's not! The Seagate Restoration was the most expensive card in their hand. They're almost certainly going to hit Ayara with this. Not City Stalker Connoisseur, so I'm just going to attack in. If I wanted to, I could hold the Ayara back so she could sacrifice something, but she can't sacrifice herself. And there she goes. Bye! That's alright. We've got lots of nice cards. I may want to hold back Yawgmoth. I think I will, in fact. There's nothing for me to really do other than try to gain some card advantage. So instead, we're going to hold our Undying Malice here. If they kill something, we can bring it back. They would probably be this. Cursebound Witch, another high-value card. It's a 1-mana 1/2 with this incredibly good spellbook where you get to draft it, you get to choose the card, and almost all of them are so good! Okay, there is a creature in their graveyard. Not too spicy of a creature, but it is there. I'm gonna go ahead and cycle out using this blood. Very cool. Here comes Yawgmoth. And I'm actually going to start by throwing the Cursebound Witch at the Dream Trawler. Now, if they want to, they can make this hexproof, and I will not draw that card, but I'll still get the cards off these two spellbooks. Okay. I wanted to be able to attack. Ooh, Acquisitions Expert. That sounds great with the mana I currently have. What do we have off the Witch, too? Cauldron Familiar, Witch's Cauldron, an Unwilling Ingredient. I think I'll grab the Kitty Cat, since it drains for a life. And we don't draw that card. Here comes the Acquisitions Expert. We have a Cleric, and a Warrior, and a Rogue, so we're going to see every card in their hand. Nico Eris, and a Plains. Okay, I'm going to get rid of Nico. They can come back from Elspeth Conquers Death, but Nico's a lot better if you're casting them from your hand. As you might have guessed, having an X in your cost is just a bit better that way. If they want to, though, like, they could still, I don't know, use the minus ability and kill a creature. It's not that interesting. Dream Trawler comes in, gains life. Draws them a card. Would you care to kill the City Stalker Connoisseur? Okay. In response, I am going to target no creatures and just sacrifice it. I don't feel I need to target the Dream Trawler, and I think it's more important that I draw the card here. Let's see what we get off Xander's Wake. Boneclad Necromancer, nice. Horde Robber and Tavern Swindler. I do love Tavern Swindler. And hello, Meathook Massacre. Another Blood Artist-like ability. This is the nerfed version of Meathook Massacre, so it doesn't make your opponent gain you life when their creatures die. Still really, really good. Okay, they have two cards in hand, and here comes Teferi. And they're starting with the Celestus. Gains them a life, lets them draw and discard a card. And they could go for the plus ability, which gains them life, lets them untap their creature. Or they could go for the -2 ability and just get a bit more card selection. I think they're going to go for the untap here. Which is exactly why we're going to try to bully them into tapping this again by throwing creatures at it. Starting with this Cauldron Familiar. We're going to drain them for 1 life. Try to get this -1/-1 counter on them. Okay. Ooh, Morbin time. Love a little bit of Morbin. You do know I can proliferate, right? Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. I'm gonna go for another sacrifice here. Don't mind me. What? It's nothing. Okay, and they're going for this hexproof now, which seems like a fine time for me to maybe do a little proliferating, maybe get a little bit more on. No, I'm fine now. This is tapped, it's out of the way until the end of turn, and it has this -1/-1 counter on it, so it means I can proliferate at will. I'm going to leave up in 2 mana for that ability, and I'm going to steal from them. Hey, what do you have in that deck? Ooh, a Memory Lapse? Hello, wash away. I'm gonna take Memory Lapse because I want to be the monster. Speaking of being the monster, let's just go ahead and take out this Nico and smack into Teferi. Very nice. Now, if they want to cast a spell, we can, you know, stop that. I don't mind them hitting me. Doing a little bit more of this. Oh, Karn Temporal Sunbreak. What a good card! What a good card that I don't think you should have. Well, they're having it anyway. Looks like they're going to negate. In that case, I am going to toss another fella at you. And unfortunately, Yawgmoth cannot sacrifice himself. Boneclad Necromancer, Tavern Swindler, and Tithe Bearer Giant. Countering my stolen counter spells. What a rude thing to do. Dream Trawler, assuming they'll get some good card draw in here. Going to deal more damage to me and heal them up a bit more. Probably going to go for this Meathook Massacre next turn. Look at you drawing cards. A plus and get their untap on. Which is why I'm going to start with an attack. Gonti does have Death Touch, so let's see if they're interested in protecting this Teferi. Maybe they even have a Settle. Oh, no, it's Patriarch's Humiliation, which is going to remove the Death Touch from Gonti. What do we get off Xander's Wake? Board Robber, Acquisitions Expert. Okay, cool. I'm going to go for X equals 1, 2. Might actually want to... You know what? I want to peek at their hand first. Show me your secrets. Counter spells, discard, whatever it may be. Show me your secrets. There's a land. We'll make them discard the land. One of your 2 finest secrets, my friend. And now I'm going to go for this Meathook Massacre. See what the final card is in their hand. It's nothing. Well, or it's something that they just can't really make use of right now. Teferi's still on the board. Their life total is high, but I have a feeling they have very few creatures in their deck. Azorius Control tends to do Azorius things. And there is some big card draw. Discover the formula. I hate this card. I really do. Key to the Archive at a discount. we can see what they get, what they drop. They dropped a Gilded Lotus, which is a big untapped target for Teferi. So right now, they're clearly set on mana. And what they want is they want the spells that they can get off the Key to the Archives. Speaking of which, I want to make you discard. So I'm going to assemble from parts, targeting my City Stalker Connoisseur. This just makes it so I can shuffle this card back into my library and reanimate it as a token copy. Okay, so they countered that. They know whatever's in their hand is good. Ooh, good stuff, you say. Well, I'm going to do my own good stuff here. And use the underdog to smash into Teferi, because I just don't like him. Get out Yawgmoth. And we're just going to get a little extra value out of this Tenacious Underdog sacrifice. We're going to submit 0, pay a life, and sacrifice this creature, and we're going to draw 2 cards off that. Plus, get a card from Xander's Wake. Vengeful Warfief, Slaughter Specialist, and Malakir Blood Priest. You know, I could really go for like a little bit of life gain, though Vengeful Warchief, because I would be losing life from Yawgmoth's ability, is pretty tasty. We do have a good number of ways to gain life in this deck. We just have to find them. Just have to find them. By the way, this counterspell, you can tell from the A22 on it, is what they got from Key to the Archive. Though they almost certainly also have the spell, counterspell in their deck. Do you plus or do you minus? What do you want? Mana? Do you have any creatures? Can we make you sacrifice Teferi, saving me the attack? River's Rebuke. Okay, so they're tossing this back into my hand. Not the worst. And I assume doing some untapping. Holding up a counterspell, maybe? I'll try to bait out that counterspell using Xander's Wake. Because they know this thing's been getting me value. Okay, I've still got some left. I feel like I should try to use the creature first, but I know what I like. Do you have a way to save this? Part of why I'm doing this, by the way, is I think 3 mana is the cost of many taxing counterspells, so I just want to be able to pay that amount. It's Morbid time. And the Morbid Opportunist. We're encouraging them to either hold cards in their hand to discard or have no cards in their hand. So, you know, this isn't going to be causing them problems. Hallowed Fountain. Okay. That's just another land they've discarded. They're holding 2. One of them was a land. That actually makes me feel like the last one is a land too. Yeah. Malakir Blood Priest. He's getting like a little bit of life. Tiny bit. This guy's a rogue, so we have 2 party members here. Gonna go in with the Boneclad Necromancer. Oh, I guess I should have done that first since this is a wizard. Are you all party members? They're all party members. That's so wild. Yeah, I'll exile the Dream Trawler. Get myself a little Zomboy. Play the Clattering Augur. Draw a card. Dark Ritual. I don't feel like I need to use a Dark Ritual here. In we go, and Retrofitter Foundry. So as far as reanimation targets go for the Eldest Reborn... Oh, okay, there's their actual counterspell. We just found it. It's almost certainly going to be City Stalker Connoisseur. If they have a card in their hand, I would like to make them discard it. If they're holding a board wipe, it's honestly fine. I get so much value out of my creatures dying thanks to Xander's Wake and Morbid Opportunist. This can even just come back from the graveyard to my hand. Even though it's not a cheap, you know, cycle to do that, I absolutely can do it. Oh, but it looks like they would like to steal this to do their own reanimation. Well, I've taken the best creature out of their graveyard, but they can still take from mine. Am I worried about that? Honestly, not really. I'm not really worried about it. Let's play Yawgmoth. And swing in with everybody. I think I am going to do a tiny bit of card drawing here. Because I'd really love to get not just the value off this and off this. I'd love to get like one of my various life gain pieces. It would be super cool if I could get one of those. Cruelty of Gix. I'll just take the best card out of a graveyard. They might not have anything for me to make them discard. But I've got this. Eldest Reborn, what do you want to take? The pieces aren't very good anymore. You already made Gonti do nothing. Acquisitions Expert would let you discard one of my cards. No, they're going to draw a card and lose a life. They're taking the Clattering Augur. More card draw. Amazing that they haven't gotten any destructive board wipes yet, except for, they've had this River's Rebuke, which they used to bounce all of my permanents. My turn. Sounds good to me. Are you going to discontinuity and end my turn before it even begins? Well, you let me draw. I'd kind of like to know if you can settle my wreckage. Morbs you can go into. Everybody but Yoggles. This can't block. Oh, does the damage resolve? You can't block. You could draw a card. Well, that's just wild and crazy, isn't it? Lolth. Spiders. Okay. He took for 3. I have 7 creatures. 8, actually. Fragment Reality. Okay. Cool Hangerback Walker, bye. We have 7 creatures, which will die to the Meathook Massacre. As far as I can tell, they don't have any way to gain life. And glory to Phyrexia! Kinnan Bonder Prodigy. Little kid with a lot of big friends. Kinnan is the Turbo, Durbo, Swerbo Ramp Commander who you should be afraid of. Because in blue and green colors, you have interactive spells, counter spells especially, and you also have big, scary friends, which you can put onto the battlefield at instant speed using Kinnan's mana doubling and mana sync ability. I'm going to keep this. Oh my gosh, there wasn't a turn 1 Llanowar Elf. We're doing just fine. We're gonna land the Curse-Bound Witch. And there's the Drover of the Mighty. And I'm killing it. And swinging in for 1. If it makes mana, I will destroy it. My god, it's Llanowar Elf! I can't believe that there would be a Llanowar Elf here. I don't have a way to kill it. But I do have a Forge Fire Automaton, which is a new alchemy card that is very good at returning creatures from my graveyard to the battlefield and making them bigger, faster, stronger too. Forge Fire Automaton is really, really cool. And our opponent has 3 mana right now, which they're... Nope, sorry, nope. Okay, just 3 mana. 1 blue, 2 green. And I have Yawgmoth on the battlefield resolving? Hello. Goodbye. I'm just going to take out the Llanowar Elf now. They may have a spell that untaps it, gives it some form of protection. What do we get off the Cursebound Witch? Ooh, Black Cat. Meow. Bye-bye. And swinging in with the Forge Fire Automaton. Something that I'm going to point out that I didn't get for Yawgmoth is he has protection from humans. Guess what this guy is? He's a human. Yeah, I know, pathetic, right? Who would even be a human? You must seek perfection and be one with Phyrexia. So now that we have the Forge Fire on the battlefield and the Cursebound Witch in the graveyard, we should be bringing back the Cursebound Witch, and it should be coming back bigger. Our opponent's done some ramping, they've done some card draw, but I have a 3/2 Cursebound Witch. Oh, fun. I also have beautiful sacrificable cards like this Black Cat, and I'm going to just go ahead and play it, sacrifice. I don't think this Kinnan's, by the way, going to stick around for too long once we get this rolling. And, feeling this Carrier Thrall, too. Goodbye, Kinnan. I'll see you later. I have 2 mana here, so I could also play this Reassembling Skeleton, but I think that it's fine for me to just sit here and chill. If they have some sort of, I don't know, big bounce spell, I could go and sacrifice a few of these that I would rather have in the graveyard than in my hand, since we would get value off both of Yawgmoth and their on-death abilities if they happen to have those. Elvish Mystic? In this economy? I don't think so. It's Jacob Hawken. Inspector. I do not like to play against Jacob Hawken because, and you might be surprised by this, the deck has a lot of counterspells in it. It's a deck that's really focused around protecting itself with counterspells until you can flip over Jacob Hawken and then start casting expensive, highly powerful cards for free. Now, Jacob Hawken, pain in the butt, but you know who else is a pain in the butt? Us. Because we're going first, and unless they have a wash away, we're getting our Yawgmoth down on turn 2. Is that a fun or fair move? No, it is not. But so long as Dark Ritual is unbanned in this format, it's going to be very playable, especially in mono-black decks that have these powerful commanders that we can just get out onto the battlefield. Something else I want to point out that is always just ever so slightly relevant is that Yawgmoth has protection from humans. Look at that! Human Advisor! Great creature type right there. Landing a good creature on the battlefield quickly in a deck that has many, many counterspells is important. That is an unusual choice, but okay, Chromatic Lantern down. Somebody wants to taste the rainbow, I suppose, and I'll let them. Sheoldred's coming out. We're going to swing in for 5. So, Jacob Hawken, by the way, has an ability that filters 2 cards by drawing and exiling, and that's drawing cards. And Sheoldred, the Apocalypse, a fellow Phyrexian friend, maybe a fellow Phyrexian fiend, punishes them for drawing cards. Inventor's Fair, Narset. They want to stop me from drawing extra cards, and I accept this. See what they find off of Narset's minus ability. It is a Celestus. Okay, more mana. They want to be able to ramp into these abilities, I suppose, as quickly as they can. So I'll send 2 of you to face and 1 of you to Narset. And here's the Cyber Siphoner. To bring back See the Truth? Okay. I'm exiling you. You can't block. You don't exist. One of the big reasons, by the way, that hitting that was so important was actually because Cyber Siphoner enables a bunch of different infinite loops. It's able to bring back cards from the graveyard and copy itself or put itself back into hand over and over and over, usually copying extra turn spells. Now, our opponent, whose game plan is probably centered around drawing cards until they find the right pieces, isn't going to be moving forward. So that's going to be GG, Jacob. 5 colors of value. It's Niv-Mizzet Reborn. Niv-Mizzet is the kind of commander that, well, if it's a 2-color spell and it's good, you can just put it in the deck because Niv-Mizzet will help find them for you. He's also a 5-mana 6/6 flyer, which is big. They took a mulligan. Trying to find either more colors, more ramp, more fun. And we have our commander on turn 2. Ooh, that's always good. Well, if we want our commander on turn 2. I'll probably actually be going for something else. It really does depend on what they do on these first turns. Crusader, are you going to be ramping, fixing, or are you just going to sit there and not play any cards? Ah, there we go. They had to decide which card to play, and it's the Rargrim Triome! And since that is not something that they can use to cast Wash Away, nor do I think that they'll have removal on turn 2 for Yawgmoth, he's on the battlefield. I played him. He's out. Breeding Pool, not shocked in. We're going to go for the Ophiomancer. The Ophiomancer is going to spit out a snake every turn, which then I can sacrifice so I get another snake. So pretty much at the start of any turn, is there a snake? If not, make snake. Really just perfect logic. Three mana. Enough for counter spells, that's enough for kill spells. They're going for Prismari Command. In response, I will sacrifice the Ophiomancer. That will just draw me a card, but I won't be getting free snakes every turn. And they have a treasure token here. They're now 1 mana away from Niv-Mizzet Reborn, which is pretty scary. Go ahead and get this Bastion of Remembrance out, and the Curse-Bound Witch. This way, with Bastion of Remembrance, when I sacrifice things, I will be paying life still, but I'll be gaining that life back and draining my opponent for 1. If they have a board wipe, we can sacrifice our board and just refill our hands. If they play Niv-Mizzet, then we can Yawgmoth's Vile Offering, bring back the Ophiomancer, and get rid of their commander. They have enough. Yes, they could go red, green, blue, white, black. What do we need? Is it nothing? Listen, if you hold it open 2 white, I'm going to assume it's either the Wanderer or Settle the Wreckage, which I'm actually pretty cool with. I'm going to play Lolth on this turn. And it's a Mystical Dispute. Okay. It was a counterspell. But now I feel okay with attacking with all of my creatures. In you go, kids! And I'm actually going to sacrifice one of my creatures. Just to draw a card. And get a card from the spell book. Black Cat's a good one. Black Cat's going to make our opponent discard at random, which is very funny because, well, it could hit the best card in their hand. It could also hit, like, a card they don't care about in their hand. But at best, it's incredible. Hypnotic Spectre and similar abilities, which make your opponents discard at random. I think Hymn to Turark also may have done that. Are just so nasty to play against. They're up to 6 mana now. Niv-Mizzet? He's here. Nope. Still not playing Niv-Mizzet. Alright, well then, Black Cat. Could it be a Sublime Epiphany? No, it's Poggin and Yawgin. They're going to kill Yawgmoth here. Do I feel I need both these creatures out, or could I sacrifice one? I'll let both of them stay out here. And I get a land! Woohoo! I love lands. I'll take that one. Thank you. Move my commander to the command zone. And I will attack. Retrofitter Foundry? Yeah, you still have something. I would like to land this to try to go crazy next turn and just win. See if we can. Nest of Scarabs. It resolved. So Nest of Scarabs with Yawgmoth lets me go deep. It lets me, especially if I have a way to pay for that life gain, make a scarab, kill a scarab, make a scarab, kill a scarab. As long as there's something I can put a -1/-1 counter on, we're going to keep getting bugs. Territorial Kavu! Okay, they do have all 5 colors of domain here. And Vraska Golgari Queen. This is a 3 mana value enchantment, so I think getting rid of it is a smart choice. Or getting rid of the Bastion if they have some other way to deal with Yawgmoth right away. By the way, Vraska, if you don't yet know, has joined us on Phyrexia in glory and greatness. I'm going to attack with the snake at their face and these 2 little guys at Vraska. May as well. We're gonna pay a life, sacrifice this. Put a -1/-1 counter, kill the Vraska, and then I'm feeling making them discard at random. I don't know, it sounds like really fun right now. I think that's what I'm going to do. Little bit of chaos at the ready. They discarded Dovin's Veto. Very cool. And now we're gonna chill. And Territorial Kavu is smaller than Yawgmoth Thran Physician. We have actually 7 mana, more lands than they currently have. Kaya, the Inexorable. Would you like to exile my commander? Perhaps my Bastion of Remembrance? Okay. Now, if this seems weird, I'm gonna point something out. I have a Massacre Wurm in my hand. Oh. Worm. They only have 1 creature out here, and I don't want them to be able to put ghost form tokens on it. Would you like to discard and draw a card? Would you like to exile a card from my graveyard? May I recommend Ophiomancer or the Cursebound Witch? They're very easy for me to bring back. The answer is no! They chose no. Cool. Worm! Whoosh. They're down to 5 life, but in their graveyard they do have an Uro, and they do have green, green, blue, blue. They can bring him back, too. But they may spend this turn focusing on getting rid of this Massacre Wurm. No, I see them exiling their graveyard. They're bringing back the Uro. Hello, Uro. You're a 6/6. I'm a 6/5. You return to their hand. And hi, Niv-Mizzet. Shame the only legendary in my hand costs 8 mana now, because I'd love to use Yawgmoth's Vile Offering. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Nightmare Shepherd and Sanguine Brushstroke. Sanguine Brushstroke is going to put a Blood Artist and a Blood onto my battlefield, and I'm going to just swing at them. I'm going to swing at Kaya. No, at their face. Because if they block, then creatures will die. Which Blood Artist likes, and Bastion of Remembrance likes. I am going to exile this Massacre Wurm from my graveyard. It's a little guy, it's just a little baby! 5, 4, 3. We could crack this blood and bring them to 2. And by the way, on that Niv-Mizzet Reborn entering the battlefield, they only had 1 2-color card. And it was Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. Dang good card. Let's see, is Uro coming in? Yes, he is. And I am going to block here. I'm going to block with the Blood Artist. Blood Artist will die. And Nightmare Shepherd will bring him back as a Nightmare. Reminder of what he used to be. It's actually got more stats. He'll become a 1/1 instead of an 0/1. Do you have a board wipe? If you do, you're dead. Kaya, you could be taking out this Shepherd? There it goes. Okay, there's no more Shepherd on the battlefield. And a Fatal Push. Taking them down to 2. I'm running out of time, though. Niv-Mizzet returns to the battlefield. And all we have to do is attack. I don't think that they know Sanguine Brushstroke will make them lose a life when we sacrifice this blood. They have only 2 mana left. Siphon, Insight, Mortify, and Kroxa. GG, Crusader Jer. Mr. Domino is playing Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. An interesting commander because you very often choose to let it go to the graveyard. And I have really, really good cards in my hand. They also cost too much mana, so we're going to throw that back, grab another one, and end up with a kind of awkward mana, because colorless, sort of, and comes in tapped. But, you know, it could be worse. I could have only 2 lands. And I'll keep this. We have the Woe Strider, we have Undying Malice to save and bring something back. We've got Blood Chief's Thirst, a bit of early removal. Guess I'll just throw down the dead ones. Perfect. Hello there, Uro. If you have never run into Uro before, it's one of the best just Simic value cards. Helps you ramp, gains you life, draws you cards. And also, if it gets milled or your opponent is filling up your graveyard, ends up coming back with a vengeance. It really just enters the battlefield, and unless that ability to self-sacrifice gets stifled, ends up coming back very quickly after. I think I'll just play Jadar here over Woe Strider. Oh, somebody has something at 1 blue mana. Oh, thanks, Jadar. Jadar made me a zombie. It's a good zombie! They're taking their time thinking about what they'd like to do. I think that they should just, I don't know, play a land and then play Uro. Because that's what I would do. Yeah! Here comes Uro! And they are leaving 1 blue mana up. Could be a bounce spell, could be a counter spell, or it could be nothing at all. I think that the smart thing for us to do is going to be play around it. So I'm going to start by attacking in with Jadar and his little zombie token. And we're yogging. Cool. Yawgmoth did not get countered, so there was no wash away. Didn't get bounced. And now we have a fresh zombie to sacrifice. 5 mana. You know what I think this is? I think it's a counterspell, but I think it's a counterspell that's also a creature. I think it's the shark. I am going to attack in here. And I'm going to attack in with the zombie and Jadar. I'm willing to risk the Jadar here to try and bait them into playing whatever flash creature they may have. If they have it. Could also be the cycling shark. And don't see it. Oh, I meant to sacrifice that in response. You know what? That's fine. I didn't put full control mode on in time, and I have my hand full. I usually, like, have my keyboard hand, like, ready to hit the control button. It's busy fiddling with this weird, like, Kamigawa thing that Wizards of the Coast sent me. It's a little, like, hunk of metal on a leather strap. It's really good for touching, though. Honestly, so good for touching. Hello, do you have some counter spells? Would you like to cast them? Are we bouncing? Are we spelling? Are we smelling? Is it a shark? Legally, you have to tell me if you have a shark. It could be Gales. The counterspell that borrows your opponent's card. They're hovering. They're thinking. See, this is the trouble with the blue players. They're always thinking about their plays instead of just playing cards. And they're gonna yeet Yawgmoth back into my hand. Alright. That is not, like, the best for me, but I also don't mind. Yawgmoth's back in my hand, and they're going to discard and draw, and they discarded a miscast. Ah, that is a counterspell. Well, now we have plenty of sacrificables. We've got a goat, a zombie, the Priest of Forgotten Gods is chilling, and Jadar is just like, yeah, we'll get these back. Ugh, Wilderness Reclamation. If there was any question about what kind of deck our opponent was playing, this answers it. It is a smelly, smelly counterspelly deck. And this can't quite animate. Okay, it can animate, but it would be tapped. I'm going to swing in. Ready? Let's go! And I'm putting full control mode on. I remembered this time. Yeah, that's right, the goat's going in too. And as we go to combat cleanup, we're going to target our opponent. Yeah? Yeah. We're waiting. We're chilling. I don't need that mana. I just want to see if they'll do anything. They defabricated the ability. Really? Well then. Okay. Yawgmoth, again. Do you counter him? Ooh, yes they do. Okay, bye, Yoggies! Yawgmoth, Going straight back to the command zone. And we get a fresh hot zombie. They have just enough cards if they would like to escape Uro. And the Priest of Forgotten Gods, she is so ready to make them sacrifice. By the way, they just denied 2 life loss and a card draw. Which is a bit interesting. Oh, hey, Oracle of the Alpha. They're going to shuffle the Power 9 into their deck. Hi, you're a silly bird, aren't you? Who's my little tweet? Tweet. They've untapped, and they do have enough lands now to animate this and, I don't know, cause some trouble. Which is why I'm going to lead with Big Stinky, sacrificing this zombie. Do you have a counterspell? I feel like you must. That's your whole thing, right? You hold up mana so you can counter spells like this? Pact of Negation. Well, that's kind of funny. Alright, I guess. I'll just pass their turn and get a fresh hot zombie. Do you pay the 5? They do, because they have to. Otherwise, they lose the game. They come in ready to attack. And then they don't attack me. Okay. Let's play the Cursebound Witch. I'm sorry, the Cursebound what? The Cursebound Witch! Just gonna go for this sacrifice right now. Ye old sorcery speed! That's a really good card. Hey, I don't think you have a counterspell. I don't think you have counterspell. This is a bit of a gamble here. But if I can get this to land, I'll be so happy. And for 1 mana, they countered it. Dude, you don't get to oops if you counter a spell. That's not how it works. May I recommend if you counter a spell saying, nice. I see you looking at your graveyard. Are you perhaps escaping your commander? They escape, and they draw, and there isn't a land in their hand, so it means that they've got 3 spells in their hand. That's actually pretty important information if you ask me. I'm going to try to go yum yum yum, munch munch munch, yummy yummy tasty on your Wilderness Reclamation. Does it land? May I play the Gixian Puppeteer? Ah, excellent. Would you care to sacrifice? And a Tail's End. Okay. You sure do like counterspells, don't you? They attack. They draw. And they choose not to put the land into play. I'll take 6. They heal 3. They've gone through, by the way, most of the countering triggered abilities things I would expect. A River's Rebuke. Okay. Ooh. Bring out you, can't I? No! Ah, 1 second. Stop trying to use the Phyrexian Tower. Thank you. Actually, I'm gonna leave the Jadar there so I can bring it back potentially using the Gixian Puppeteer here. There we are. Now we have our Undying Malice at the ready. Hi there. How you doing? Burrow's thinking about it. What does he want to do? He wishes to attack. Okay. I take it. So the reason I was doing that weird play there with sacrificing the goat is in case they had a bite spell, whatever else kind of spell. There's only so many ways to kill with green. So I could use the Undying Malice. Key to the Archives. Could get them something like a Time Warp. Could get them something like a Counterspell. Could get them something they don't care about at all. And they dropped a land. So whatever they got off Key to the Archive, they did keep. 1, 2, 3. What you doing with that mana? What you doing? Oh, they're looking for a basic land. I feel like you have enough basic lands. But who am I to say? Who am I to say? They're playing it, and that gives them exactly Counterspell mana. I'm gonna say this is our litmus test. Hey, do you have Counterspell mana? Cool, it's just asking for a friend. Gonna go ahead and use the old full control mode button here, so I can... Oh, do I want to use the Undying Malice here? No, I think I'm just going to go yum yum, munch munch, tasty tasty. And try to ram into Uro. Okay. He's dead. Good for us. Now they can escape him again. But as far as I see, they have 7 damage. And I have a blocker. It doesn't work without Kicker. This is 3 mana, people in the chat who don't like to count. I missed it. Apparently they did oops again. I was not paying attention. I was busy looking at the glory of Phyrexia. Praise Sheoldred! Yes, you have so much mana. What are you doing with it? You should just draw cards. For no reason. You know. No reason at all. I see them looking through their graveyard. I feel like they're going to escape again. Their clock is ticking. Cards have been exiled. They left River's Rebuke, Tail's End, and Wilderness Reclamation. And they have 2, 4, 6, 8 mana available. sorry, make that 9 mana available. What will you do with all that mana? Man, oh man. Manischewitz. Cameo! You want to bring back that River's Rebuke? You're one short of casting it. You could grab Wilderness Reclamation, then you can cast anything you want on my turn. Gee, thanks, Cameo. You sure do play fun and cool cards, don't ya? Ah, perfect. Hey, Meathook Massacre. Love to see you here. I'm eyeing lovely little worms. Ooh, worm. Going to go ahead and tap the Phyrexian Tower and the Ifnir Dreadlands here before I play Massacre Wurm. Massacre Wurm. Let me guess, Sublime Epiphany. I see you hovering, you little hover bubber. Sorry, it's a Decisive Denial. That's cool, that's cool. I can make it die and then come back. But I actually don't think that's what I want to do. Because this will just die anyway? Neat. Okay. You lose life. I like the part where you lose life. And I'm going to attack Cameo. Hey, would you like to animate your land? Well, see, I have Death Touch, and I also have a fun little handy-dandy ability here called Undying Malice. It's the bad ice. She lives. She dies. She lives again. Now I'll give them a little cackle. One oops deserves another, right? And they're gonna mill. And I'm gonna guess it's Time Warp. Have I seen the card from Key to the Archive yet? I haven't, no. Which makes me feel like it's a very, very specific card. Maybe single target removal? Discover the Formula. That's a very big card draw card. It seeks non-lands and then discounts everything in your hand. You want to bring back Uro? You can bring back Uro. And the Uro returns! Hi, Uro. Very cool of you to draw cards. Solindy Vision lets them seek out a spell from the top 6 cards. I hope you whiff. They didn't whiff. They got Disdainful Stroke. And everything untaps. I'll play this land. Ooh, Gixian Puppeteer. You do make me happy. I'm going to use both of these to attack their face or Cameo. They have the River's Rebuke, which they can bring back. I'm just going for face. I'm out for blood. And Sheoldred perishes. If I really want to keep her alive, I could have started with the Ifnir Deadlands, but no. I want to go for their face. And then I'm going to play Whoa, Strider. And let's see if they counter the Woe Strider. Is it really worth it? So close. So close to lethal off this Meathook Massacre. Which is exactly why I'm going to pay it for x equals 0. Oh, what? Is it lethal? I'm waiting for them, by the way, to pass, because remember how many abilities they countered? I want to make absolutely sure they cannot gain life. Because we have sacrificing this, and sacrificing this to kill them. It's just a matter of when to do it. Oh, you tapped out! Oh, you tapped out! A 1. A 2. A 3. A crunch. 2 commanders that are card draw circuses of value. Sith's Harvest hand draws a card whenever an enchantment is cast, and also gains them some life. That's pretty good. We have Dark Ritual in our opening hand, this has actually been in, I think, about 50% of our opening hands. That's not like of the ones I kept in the video. I mean, that's just in general, we keep having Dark Ritual super early, which is awesome, because it means I get to play Yawgmoth on turn 2. Nice. Ban this card in this format. How many times do I have to say it? Alright, so they have their Sithis. And this Nest of Scarabs is gonna be so good in a turn! But I have to wait. Just a little bit. And I'll attack in with Yawgmoth. I just need to make sure I've got one other thing to kick off this sacrifice, like a Reassembling Skeleton, and then we're ready to go. This will be our first time, I think, for this video getting to do the Nest of Scarabs stuff. Ah, haha, but they want to draw cards too. You know what? That's legit. You draw cards, I draw cards, you gain life, I lose life. I'm sorry. Are you cursing me? Isn't it nice that I got this down on turn 2? Curse of Silence. Making my Yawgmoth cost more. Okay, well that's cool. That's cool. Check out this Nest of Scarabs I found. Yeah, it's super neat, right? Do you like -1/-1 counters? Asking for a friend. The friend is me. Ooh. Cool bug. We let them draw 2. They have plenty of cards in hand. Well, we can actually draw as many cards as we want. So let's see, if they go to remove Yawgmoth here, I'll draw a couple cards. Maybe fill up my board with a couple bugs. Ooh, Knight of Autumn! Do you destroy my Nest of Scarabs? In response, I'll let you draw a card. And I'll let me draw a card. Oh, that's gonna change things so good. Alright. I just want to draw, like, one more. We do actually have to, like, target our bug with our bug. To do the bug, to get the bug. Blah, blah, blah. Just drawing more cards. Getting more bugs. I guess it's exactly the same. Had we not targeted anything, because there's no +1/+1s. No -1/-1s. Do I care? Nope, this is fine. Bye, Nest of Scarabs. And hello, Sanguine Brushstroke. I'll play this Cabal Stronghold. I'm gonna make sure this taps. And that gets me a Blood Artist. Do I want to play something else here? Yeah, I'm gonna play the Dreadhorde Invasion. To get more creatures for more sacrifice. Enchantress's Presence. And an enchantment! Is that Sanctum Weaver? That's her name? Yes, Sanctum Weaver taps for mana equal to the number of enchantments they have, which is a lot. A lot of it. There's a lot. Pass to attackers. Okay, before the end of turn, I'm actually going to discard, I think the Swamp. Hey, Nightmare Shepherd! Looking cool. Bloodchief's Thirst overusing Yawgmoth's ability here is pretty fine with me. I'm trying to think if I have enough sacrifice here to kill them this turn. I'm going to start with an attack. Blood Artist, you don't need to attack in. Am I afraid? I'm trying to think if there's anything I'm afraid of them drawing. I feel like I'm not. I could also just discard a card to proliferate. Don't you love paying life? I sure do. Look at you and all your cards. Can't wait for them to show me what I should be afraid of. I think I can lose 2 or 5 more. 5 more. So we're just gonna chill. Leaving my Massacre Rebirth and my Reassembling Skeleton. Though I feel like directly killing things is not what they do. They exile things. They're an enchantment stack. They might have a board wipe, though. Board wipes are cool. Ooh, Heliod's Pilgrim. You can grab them in Aura. And they have 2 mana to cast said Aura. Kenrith's Transformation. Maybe they want to turn Yawgmoth into something a little less scary. Well, 1 second. Do you want to draw more cards? Asking for a friend. Sithis is already so good at drawing cards. I'm gonna go ahead and put this Massacre Rebirth onto this Falkenrath Noble. Gotta wait until that resolves. Okay, cool. And then I'm gonna do this again. Alright, full control mode off. Enjoy your card draw. And also enjoy the fact that I'm going to be hitting you with a delicious 3/3. Because you're going to be the one turning Yawgmoth into an elk. You know, I actually feel like I should sacrifice this Blood Artist, too. Yeah, I think I will. Targeting nobody, sacrificing the Blood Artist. I'm getting 2 more life drained. 1, 2, and full control mode back off. Ta-da! You have 14 cards in hand! But your hand size is infinite, thanks to Reliquary Tower. They have a Mox Amber, with no legendaries. What's up, Sithis? As always, thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. If you'd ever like to watch me record these live, come on over to twitch.tv/Amazonian. If you're wondering, Amy, why have you been releasing so many Brawl Stars episodes? It's because, two things, I would really love to hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube before my birthday, which is March 1st, so I don't know, if you haven't subscribed yet, you should totally consider it. And also, it's because I'm going to be gone for a couple weekends coming up. I'm going to be gone this upcoming weekend, which I don't know actually when this video is going to be coming up, and another weekend for MTG Philly in February, so I want there to be lots of tasty video content for you to watch. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you're ready for the Phyrexian invasion.